Unit 6, Modals plus verb 1. All modals are followed by verb 1. Modal 1, must. The obligation comes from ourselves. I must obey my parent as a son. So you obey or you follow the obligation by your self-awareness. You want it yourself. Nobody force you. I have to. The obligation come from outside. I have to obey the school rules as a student. It means that I don't want it, but the school require me or ask me to. But for the first one, you want it yourself. You want to obey the parent yourself in the modal mass. In the modal have to, you obey the school rules because the school rules ask you to, requires you to. So you don't want it yourself. Should to give advice. I should study before the exam. Ought to is also used to give the advice. I ought to study before the test. Inner obligation. The obligation comes from ourselves. I must go to school before the bell rings. I must do the school exercises. I must greet the senior people. The outer obligation. The obligation is applied from outside, from the school. It is outer forces. We don't want it, but we must oblige it. We must follow it. We must respect it. Because it is a common obligation that comes from school, institution, from outside, etc. I have to clean our classroom. I have to ask my parents' permits before I go out. I have to buy the tickets before watching the movie. The models for giving advice. I should eat the medicine when I'm sick. I should bring an umbrella when it is rainy. I should collect the exercise before the exam. Giving the advice from the modal ought to. So should and ought to carry the same function. They are just different in the physical form. Use doesn't use to, but ought use to. But both of these modals carry the same function, namely to give the advice. I ought to eat the medicines when I'm sick. I ought to bring an umbrella when it is rainy. I ought to collect the exercise before the exam.